Hello, greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet. And today we are going to be talking about Donald Trump. That's right. I warned you a little while back we were still going to be doing a small weekly segment called What the Fuck is Donald Trump Up To? Today is that day. Now, I picked a day to go over this because last night there were conflicting reports coming out that Trump was trying to hold an on-TV live press conference in the middle of primetime programming last night, somewhere between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. And there were rumors flying. Oh, he's going to declare martial law. Oh, he's going to give a concession speech. Nobody knows what he's going to do. And then nothing really materialized. So I went, checked his Twitter account today, saw some articles. Now I understand what's going on. Apparently, Captain Cuckoo Bird Crazy Pants had another meltdown and temper tantrum and decided that, just flinging tweets into the Twitter sphere with Twitter putting messages on the bottom that say, this tweet may contain false information, wasn't doing it for him. He likes it when he can get on a camera. They just turn that shit on hot. They crank open the microphone and then he just goes, like vomits at you for 15 minutes and says whatever the fuck is on his mind. If you remember, he was giving daily press briefings on Corona because he saw the governors in individual states doing it and thought, hey, wow, I can get more screen time. But since the election, he's mostly been hiding, and the narcissist inside him is absolutely losing its shit because it can't get out and rage. So let's review. What the fuck is Donald Trump up to? Donald Trump's Twitter. He is now tweeting out anything that anybody puts on Twitter that, I don't know, makes him feel better about himself. Like this retweet here. Biden supporters seem to really be losing their minds at how angry they get when you tell them that Biden won only 16% of counties. They get even angrier about that than the fact that they're all supporting a cheater. Who's okay with the cheating? So apparently that's the magic code word. If you write Biden and cheating, Trump will find you on Twitter and retweet you. Also, note to Mr. Kevin McCullough here, as well as President Donald Trump. I'm gonna blow your mind. You ready for this? Land doesn't vote. All right, so we can move on from this one, right? Here we go. Big news coming out of Pennsylvania. Very big illegal ballot drop that cannot be accounted for. Rigged election. Yeah, nothing happened. It was all bullshit. Governor Brian Kemp and his puppet Jeff Duncan, together with the Secretary of State of Georgia, are very slow on signature verification and won't allow Fulton County to be examined. What are these rhinos hiding? We will easily win the presidential state race. Wait, what? You lost the presidential state race in the presidential election like a month ago. Oh shit. Did nobody tell you that you lost? Makes sense now. Loeffler and Perdue will not be able to win on January 5th unless these people allow signature verification in presidential race. Loeffler and Perdue are both in a Senate runoff election trying to maintain their Senate seats, and Donald Trump's still slinging tweets about the presidential election. See, he will help you as long as it involves him. In his deluded brain, in that special election in Georgia, people in Georgia are actually also going to recast a vote for the presidential election that already happened. Seriously, he's the only one in the room who doesn't know. He really believes that when they go after the special election in Georgia, that they're also going to be re-voting for president. He has completely lost his shit. Loeffler and Perdue need it for their race also, and Georgia's spirit will rise to such a high that they will easily bring home a great victory. Move fast, Brian Kemp. I'm sorry. Georgia's spirit will rise to such a high? That sounds like a line from like a house music song that they play with a thudding beat in the background at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're on like 17 different kind of drugs. And then Donald Trump's Twitter went just completely reshare bonkers because yesterday, Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin held a special hearing about election irregularities. And he brought out people who are still loyal to Donald Trump. He brought out our good friend Rand Paul. We know how popular he is because people go to his house and beat the shit out of him in broad daylight, even though he's a sitting U.S. senator. That's right. Senator Ron Johnson wanted to examine irregularities in voting. Now, for those of you who just might have been getting on the Ferris wheel and you haven't been involved in 5 or 6 of these elections before, Let me tell you how this works. Every 4 years, there's an election. One team wins, the other team loses. The team that wins gloats. The team that loses complains about the process and says they're going to do a whole bunch of stuff to make voting better and easier and more secure. Then, after that, they spend the next 3 years redistricting the shit out of your state, eliminating voting locations, eliminating ways people can send in ballots, and purging voter rolls. And then an election comes around. One team wins, one team loses, the team that wins gloats, the team that loses complains about the process, and then has a whole bunch of noise and puffery about it for 6 weeks before they get back to the usual business of fucking you over and sitting in a dialer room 6 days a week, calling people for donations for their next campaign years down the road. Lather, rinse, repeat. So those of you who are impressed by this specific dog and pony show about voting irregularities have apparently never been around for any other election and have not seen this happen every 4 years for the last 4 decades like I have. Senator Rob Portman got Chris Krebs to acknowledge his claims about election security were about cybersecurity and not fraud. Well, of course, because Donald Trump sued for fraud for months and went 0 for 54, so of course you all had to change the complaint. Duh. Democrats and mainstream media didn't complain when Schumer contested Rick Scott's election through the courts. Why now? One was a presidential election, one was a state election. One involves one set of electoral rules for all ballots and all votes, while the other has more than 140 different appropriations and rules, depending on every single state involved, plus the military, plus U.S. protectorates. But yes, thank you for comparing apples to Buick Skylarks. I can totally see how those two just line the fuck up. Senator Hawley said after 4 years of being told the last election was fake, the same people are telling us if you have any concerns about the election integrity, you're a nutcase, sit down and shut up. That is not a recipe for success in this country. Who the hell said the last election was fake? Nobody said the last election was fake. People on the left complained that the DNC and the Democratic machine put their finger on the scale to ensure that Bernie Sanders didn't get the nomination in the primary. But in the general, I don't think anybody accused Trump of, quote, cheating or saying the election was fake. I mean, we know that he used the Cambridge Analytics data combined with Facebook's targeting ads to drive down voter turnout in like 16 key counties across 5 states, which was why he won, combined with the fact that apparently Hillary Clinton can't find Wisconsin on a map. But this is not news, and nobody ever said the 2016 election was fake. They just said you used fucking digital tools that you weren't supposed to use to fucking drive down votes. But nobody called it fake because all the other politicians also understand that voter suppression is part of the game, and they all have to win another election in another 2 years and another 4 years. And nobody's going to take that bullet out of their gun to fall on a sword for you, Don. How the fuck have you been in government for the last 4 years with all these self-serving assholes, and you still haven't figured out that you're not the only self-serving asshole? Like, you're sitting around, like, wondering to yourself, like, how do I fuck these people to make sure I can stay in office? Yeah, numbnuts. All 530-something of these people are all sitting at home going, gee, how can I fuck Donald Trump to make sure I can keep my seat? Like, you are literally late to the party every fucking day, dude. 2 years ago, the great people of Wisconsin asked me to endorse a man named Brian Hagedorn for state Supreme Court justice when he was getting destroyed in the polls against a tough Democrat who had no chance of losing. After my endorsement, he easily won. Huzzah! Huzzah! All praise Trump. Wow, he just voted against me in a big court decision on voter fraud, of which there was much. Despite many pages of dissent from 3 highly respected justices, one thing has nothing to do with another, but we ended up losing 4-3 in a really incorrect ruling. Great Republicans in Wisconsin should take these 3 strong decisions to the state legislatures and overturn this ridiculous state election. We won in a landslide. You want me to unpack all that crazy for you? I mean, I got a bad back. I don't know that I can lift all that shit at once, so let me break it down. So Donald Trump endorsed a Republican because they were a Republican, and now he's freaked the fuck out that the Republican didn't vote for him. Again, Donald Trump views everything as a business. He doesn't think that he got this dude elected by people. He thinks he hired him. And now he can't figure out why his employee, his lackey, his minion won't just do his bidding. That's not how government works, Don, or at least not how it's supposed to work. But I don't know, you got like another 30 days. I can only imagine what kind of crazy shit fuckery you're going to come up with next. Conservatives call on state legislators to appoint new electors in accordance with the Constitution. From the conservativeactionproject.com. Yeah, these are the same arch-conservative chuckleheads who every year threaten to start a drive to allow Texas to secede from the United States of America because, you know, America is just such a hassle and such a problem, but Texas is just star-spangled awesome. Yeah, this happens every year. But again, Donald Trump doesn't know that because every day for him in the presidency is like his first day on the job, and he doesn't know how to read the room. What happened in Nevada? Here's the story from attorney Jay Binal, who testified his whistleblower hotline never stopped ringing. Yet the mainstream media and Democrats accused him of making it all up, and the courts ignored his evidence. No, Ron, that's not what happened, but I know you want that Trump retweet really bad. Ron Johnson's like, yo, I got to get some followers from Donald Trump before Donald Trump gets banned from Twitter. I got to milk this cow. Yeah, Ron went buck wild yesterday. Your whistleblower hotline never stopped ringing because you had chuckleheads in Nevada calling and complaining that there was voter fraud because they saw Hispanic people carrying votes. Yeah, and the reason that the courts ignored this evidence is because you filed shitty briefings with no evidence that were all fishing expeditions. And that's why all your shit in Nevada got thrown out. Just like your shit in Michigan, just like your shit in Georgia, just like your shit in Pennsylvania. If you had even a schmeckle of evidence, a judge would have heard it. But you have. Survey says no evidence. Sit the fuck down. And here we go. Don woke up this morning, took out his big, beefy, overlarge man fingers and started thudding them onto the fucking BlackBerry to bang out some more tweets. That's right. Donald Trump wakes up, and the first thing Donald Trump thinks of when he wakes up, you know, the sitting president of the United States of America, is how can I further increase the glory of Donald Trump? It's all Trump all the time in Trump world. Trump is literally the president of 330 million Trumps. In his head, it's all Trump all the time. You're either Trump or you don't matter. Distribution of both vaccines is going very smoothly. Amazing how many people are being vaccinated. Record numbers. No, it's not record numbers, actually. It's only been a few thousand people. Why? Because the Pfizer vaccine has to be stored at like -70 degrees. And they literally just passed the Moderna vaccine yesterday. And it still has to be manufactured. Then it has to be distributed. Then it has to be given out. Then you have to get uptake. So no, not record numbers. When the polio epidemic happened, they vaccinated like 1.5 million children with the first run of vaccines. And that was in ye olden times. People were literally getting in the back of a fucking horse-drawn wagon and click-clopping into fucking town to go get a shot. But sure, okay, record-setting, Don. You are truly a legend in your own mind, sir. A legend in your own mind. Our country, and indeed the world, will soon see the great miracle of what Trump administration has accomplished. They said it couldn't be done. No, they just said you wouldn't have anything to fucking do with it, and they were right. Hey, Nudnik, you want to tell everybody how come after the first wave of vaccines, they're not going to get any vaccine for a few months? Huh? Do you want to tell everybody that you shot down Pfizer's first offer to be the first country to get the mass distribution of the first run of the vaccine past the fucking initial batch? No, but you shot it down because you want to have your name on the box and negotiate lower prices for yourself, but not other people. Good Lord, man, you are literally the worst. Hey, look, 14 minutes ago, the Democrats dumped hundreds of thousands of ballots in the swing state late in the evening. It was a rigged election. Con! Seriously, bro, all caps at 10 in the morning? Really? Yo, somebody needs to get him a binky and a bottle of warm milk so he can take a fucking nap. Good Lord. So there you go. I told you. Every week I would give you an update on what the fuck is Donald Trump up to. Here's your update. So make sure to take care of the person sitting next to you wherever the hell it is you are, because these people, they're not doing shit for you, all right? My name is James. I'm from the internet and I'm out. Peace.